And he showed up at the beginning of one season wearing his Wilder Napalm crew shirt.
Oh, no
I
kidding.
got a kick out of that. That was neat.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And this is back to the sound stage. This is a set.
Remember that money machine just was not working?
It didn't work properly, yeah.
What did it didn't count right or didn't work at all?
Stop.
It would stop. It'd get jammed because we're using
Smack
fake
it.
bills.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're not the same thickness as real currency.
All right.
Running 24 hours a day.
Right on.
Not yours, I take it?
You got 10, 20, 30, 40 for 5 each.
3 pounds should be 48 each. Who's short?
Okay, don't freak.
This is
all right?
where Walt is always doing the calculations and is always coming up short.
He's probably still in the
Yes.
Come on.
Wake him up. And sleep after we're paid.
He's such a terrible boss.
Who, Walt?
Walt, yes.
What are you talking about? I patterned my
totally agree.
my bossness after our boss, Vince Gilligan.
There you go.
Is he a terrible boss?
There you have it.
Coming up is what is just I just love. But now here's Jesse trying to please Walt and be a hard ass.
Yeah.
And I just love this
In
moment.
his beautiful
funny bit.
jacket.
I love the way you play this, Aaron. This look you give, the
Yeah, like-
smirk. There's a little bit of Barney Fife here. There's a little bit of, but it's also it's De Niro in the Midnight Run. A little bit coming up here.
Cover form, bitch. I ask you a straight up question. I expect
Here
a
we
straight
go.
up answer.
Yeah.
Taking care of business.
Taking care of business. Yeah. No, that's a great. I love it. What do you guys usually do when you're talking on the phone? Does someone read lines off camera to you, or how's it? I mean, right here there was no other.
There's
scripted.
no lines, but now we've been like Bryan will be on the other end on another phone.
They'll actually call the phone. It's
Yeah.
a real
Yeah.
working phone, and you'll dial and call it, and you can hear.
Sweet. And so, where are you? You're in Vegas or something?
Yeah, I can be wherever you want to be. And it's usually Helen Caldwell, our script supervisor, is on the other end. But
Yeah.
this is terrific.
Great shot, and shot in an actual real elevator, which makes it, if you and Michael can speak to this, it insanely hard to shoot in, right, Michael?
Ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
How'd you get that low shot, Michael? Was that in a real elevator too? How'd that work?
That was in the elevator. That was in the elevator that takes us up to this floor in our set, the building that we use downtown. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But where'd you put the camera? Were you shooting into a mirror? Were you looking straight up? I mean, how did that work?
No, Vince, but we're going to soon.
split
I promise.
diopter?
No. We just put the camera on the floor. Literally, we put it with a wide lens on the floor, looking straight up.
Damn.
I love what Dean does here.
Office, man. See what you bozos been up to lately.
The bravado.
Yeah, the fake. Oh, look at this, the wedding photo.
Yeah.
Look on the desk here, dressed like Boss Hogg. I love that. That's in. You can see that in one of the
webisodes.
the webisodes.
Yeah.
He's dressed like that in one of the webisodes. It
Such a
should be on the
great-
disc width that you got here.
Such a great webisode.
That's a good one. Those webisodes are fun. You guys did a great job with those. And Aaron, you were going to be in it too, but you had the flu that day.
I had full on pneumonia.
Yeah, or it was you had pneumonia. That's right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
See if they come across that famous blue meth of yours. Sure enough, last night.
Steven's good in the scene.
Himself's an honest to God dealer.
Steven Quezada.
Cruising over and saying hello.
He's a local Albuquerque resident. He's also a stand-up comic.
Plays at the Chemo Theater down on Central Avenue there, old Route 66, right in the heart of Albuquerque. I love this scene.
And this is the
we were gonna
intro of
hang out.
Saul. It's
I
so,
thought we
so
were gonna
funny.
hang out.
Yeah.
I like people who don't abuse the Constitution.
This is our conference room at the studio.
Oh, right. This is the room. We've used this several times, and we'll use it several more times in season 3, and we repaint it between every time we use it.
What are you doing talking to my client without me present?
But this is where we use where we have our production meetings.
Which is which?
And here he is.
There's the man.
First appearance.
First appearance by Mr. Bob Odenkirk, who is a pleasure to work with, and we are
He's brilliant.
lucky to have him. He is brilliant. He's great. Peter, I'm speaking for Peter and myself. I'm certainly speaking for myself. I used to love watching Bob and David Cross, his partner on Mr. Show, the HBO show. That's where I got to know him. And
He says, go get a juice box.
a juice box.
Because DJ looks like he's 12. Come on.
You know, Odenkirk wrote for SNL for years, but he wrote that classic "Man Down by the River," living in the van
He
down by the
did.
river.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wrote
did.
that.
Did you read
That was
that
his.
book?
Wow.
Did you read that book? There's a great book. It's called and the kicker is, and it's interviews with famous comedy writers and comedians and whatnot. And Bob's interviewed in it, and it's a really good interview. Yeah, and he recreated that character for Chris Farley
Yeah,
when they were with Second City or something like that in Chicago.
so great.
I love this speech here.
Little whiteout can't take care of.
This scene is very unusual for our show. In fact, the Saul scenes in general are, because he gets these giant blocks
Yeah.
of uninterrupted dialogue.
Because he's the only actor who can do them.
It's just
Yeah,
a
that's
wall. It's just a
exactly.
wall of words.
We obviously need a guest star to come in and do this demanding dialogue pieces.
Well, it's interesting because usually, in all seriousness, usually what's important in our scenes is usually what's in between the dialogue, and it's what you guys do so beautifully, and the musicality of how you give it back and forth. But he's kind of just this wall of words.
Yeah, that's true. You look very closely. I think his I can't tell right in this episode, but if his cufflinks are the scales of justice. I know he's got the little scales of justice lapel pin on.
So don't even answer. Any questions?
If anything, his clothes get wilder and wilder.
Yeah, they do.
Each appearance.
Matt Jones is such a great foil for him here because he's such a great kind of straight man here.
That's a joke, Brandon. Lighten up.
So, Aaron, you and Matt have become pretty good friends.
Yeah, he's a good buddy of mine now. He's hilarious.
He's a very talented young
He's
man.
a stand-up as well. Though. He's just stand-up.
Yeah, he does a lot of improv stuff over at UCB, and Peter and I went to one of his shows. We went to separate showings, but it was called the
Jonestown Massacre.
Yeah, and it was
Really funny.
he's brilliant.
This is the main hallway of our production offices in Q Studios there.
Yeah.
So all those offices and bathroom, and that's for the crew. You
That's
know.
right.
Yeah, this is where we work.
And you know what? It works.
It totally works.
So save the money here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listening to these commentaries, you would think we shot all of every single episode at the studio.
At the production.
It feels that way. But the truth is, we're out way more often than we're in.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
This show probably is out on location more than probably anything else in the air right now that I can think of. And it's tough. It's expensive,
tough.
especially on our budget, and tough on the crew, and tough on Michael and his guys always out there. And we appreciate all the hard work you guys do because it's like here, it's just loud in some strip mall somewhere in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a beautiful car.
You want your exponential growth, guys are gonna get busted. Simple as that.
Michael, you want to talk about how paint and the production designer help so much with painting certain walls, making things look helping you with your light, you having input into what color things are, stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. They are an integral part to the look of the show, probably the most important factor in what the show is going to look like. And I wanted to actually mention that earlier when we were in Jesse's apartment, how beautiful that set was. And indeed, it actually helps every aspect of production when things are painted well and constructed properly, because when we were in that apartment, we could really move very quickly, right, guys? I mean, when we were shooting there, we would just really get a lot of work done in a very short amount of time because it was such an easy place to work.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be a lot of thought, right, Michael, going into. I mean, you, the production designer in season 2, or the wonderful Rob Wilson King, our production designer, and he's talking to you, and you're talking to him about what color. Because you don't want light bouncing around willy-nilly, correct? You need to control the light, so you don't want white walls everywhere, because then the light's bouncing around everywhere. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We work together very, very closely with the production designer, with the painting department, with the set dressers, with everybody in the art department works totally in sync with us.
It's a real group effort. It's really. I love this little set. This is actually you never. I don't think we've been out in this lobby since this episode, but it does exist. It's built onto the interior set. I love this little kid digging for gold here in his nose.
Exactly.
we
Two-handed.
Did you tell him to do that?
No, he just did
It
it.
just gets him one.
That's that's what I'm doing
Damn
when nobody's
kids.
looking.
Yeah.
I like the D.B. Cooper reference. Fantastic.
Call the FBI and tell them I found D.B. Cooper.
All the kids watching are like, who?
They'll love that.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing like a D.B. Cooper reference to get the kiddies excited.
38-year-old
Like, what?
skyjacking. Yeah.
That old chestnut.
Oh, you're wearing the Isotopes. hat.
Isotopes.
You threw out a ball for them one time.
Yeah,
didn't you?
this is the AAA affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they play in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the Isotopes were actually named the Isotopes from the Simpsons episode in
Really?
Springfield. That was the Homer's softball team, the Isotopes.
way.
Yeah, the Springfield
Really?
Isotopes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they
Fascinating.
actually named the real Isotopes after that.
Did not know that.
As an homage to the Simpsons.
Well, New Mexico is a very interesting state, and obviously a beautiful state filled with wonderful people. We love it. It's our adopted home for our show, and the Isotopes is obviously apt because the atomic bomb was invented in the state of New Mexico up in Los Alamos
Yeah.
back in the 40s. And interesting thing I heard about New Mexico is it has more PhDs per capita than any other state because you have Sandia National Laboratory and you have Los Alamos National Laboratory.
Right.
So there's a lot of brilliant people from all over the world congregated there doing high-tech, cutting-edge research. And yet in the state of New Mexico, there's more sheep than there are people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very underpopulated state for its landmass.
They're after some mystery man.
Aren't you
Which
glad
makes you very happy.
Yes,
the
exactly.
sheep
Yeah.
count.
Oh, yeah, the sheep count is big for me. It's very important.
Brandon may have some information.
I think it's important to actually note that the truth is that we went to New Mexico to shoot this show, and it was quite honestly because of economics.
That's true.
There's a 25% rebate program from the state to the production company, in this case Sony Television. And that enabled us to have a budget that would put the show on the air for AMC.
That's true.
And that's why we're there. The happy accident that I think we found is that Albuquerque and New Mexico have become an integral part to the story.
Absolutely.
They've become a legitimate character to the story.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
It's a shame California can't have a similar. It's a shame. That's what they call runaway production, and all the so many wonderful, talented crew people and actors and folks living here in California. But it's there's certain economies of scale or economies of. I'm probably using economic terms wrong because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But people go where they can get the most bang for their buck, and unfortunately, that's there's this diaspora, of production leaving Southern California and going to all the other 50 states right now.
But guys, the other happy accident is the support that we get in Albuquerque. I mean, they are just wonderful to us here. They really give us a lot of support and a lot of help.
Fun ones. Yeah, the guy who got his head smushed used to be a client of mine. His wife killed him.
It's so true. It's a wonderful city and a state to work in. They're great.
The mayor loves you, right, Bryan?
Get him singing like a canary.
well, yeah. Celebrating at the International Balloon Festival. We went up with the mayor this last year, and
The first balloon up.
3 days later, he promptly lost the election. So now we have a new mayor coming in. I blame myself for that
I did too,
association. Actually, that's true. And so,
He's a very nice man, though.
very nice.
I think he should have
Martin
won.
Chavez,
But I'm sure the new guy's good, too.
R.J. Barry is coming in.
All right.
So he'll be
Make
equally supportive.
Make friends with him now.
Yeah.
I hope he likes film, and I hope he likes shows about meth.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
What's not to love?
I think we should also talk about the practical applications. So when we shoot scenes like this, we have to have a base camp set up close by so that we can transport the actors, but also the props and everything. And so we have to rent a parking lot space from someone.